and it's gonna. I was kind of jamming a little bit. Hey, welcome everybody. This is Leaders Lead the podcast. This is a special edition. We got Cristie, Deane, and Cristie Remmel. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How y'all doing today?
We are doing amazing. Thank you so much for asking. So excited to be here.
Yeah, I'm excited to have y'all here. I met you, Cristie, through I think it was JR. He suggested that you stalk me.
Yes. Isn't that how everybody communicates? So JR Smith, I'm actually on the board of advisors for the Veterans Ranch. So JR and I are talking way too often. That's how that works, right?
Oh, that's good. No, that's good. I'm glad that we met. You didn't have to stalk me.
It's so easy to do with the podcast, though. I mean,
Yeah, I know. And Cristie, we met through Cristie. You all have an amazing organization. I was doing a little bit of research. It's the DFW Veterans Chamber of Commerce, which you are the president of, right?
Yes, you are correct.
Yeah. You want to tell us a little bit about that? Because I just found out that there was a Veterans Chamber of Commerce, and a lot of veterans, actually, I've talked to some people through a text, like, have you guys ever heard of this? They're like, nope. So
well, the more we can spread the news, the better, right? So the chamber started last year, really out of COVID, the necessity to help our veteran community stay in business and learn how to pivot, right? How to brand online, how to market, and how to make lemonade out of a bad situation. That's really how the chamber started, just out of the desire for me to continue to have presence in the veteran community and in a positive manner. So we started 3 weeks into COVID. We're a year and a half into it, and we have 70 members.
What? 70 members, just like that. How? Wow. Who's behind that?
People always say, oh, wow, that was fast. And I'm like, no. It was not fast. It's been a year and a half, and it's been steady and constant recruiting and talking to people and getting on podcasts just like this one and just spreading out the message.
Yeah, I'm glad y'all here. We have, I did a poll, what was it, not too long ago, and it looks like over 60% of the people that I'm connected with are in the military or affiliated with the military. So that's good. I'm super happy because it is. I feel like it's my life purpose to help our veterans gain employment. I get a lot of flack sometimes. They say, oh my God, I don't know why you talk so much about veteran in employment. There's other issues. What do you think about that, Cristie? This is a big, my opinion, I think this is a big issue.
It is. It's a big issue. And I think one of the things that we need to be constantly providing is those resources for our veterans to tap into. If your finances are stable, then you are more apt to getting the rest of your life in order, right? So there's a lot of organizations already providing those resources, like PTSD and some mental health resources, which is great. The VA does a great job. Even though it's slow, the VA does provide those resources, and they're wonderful resources that we can tap in. But what they fail to do is the finances, right? So we all need a hand up, not a handout. And that's what the career fair provides. It provides a hand up, an opportunity for our transitioning military and the veterans to be able to upload their resume with very large companies. I mean, we're talking like Home Depot and FedEx and Homeland Security and the FBI and any other 3 or 4 letter acronym word that you want to come up with, right? And so they want to hire veterans. So a veteran, when actually a transitioning military, once they become a veteran, they will go through about 7 jobs before they actually find the one where they're going to permanently stay. And if they don't go through the 7 jobs, sometimes they end up being a business owner because they don't know what else to do. They have to pay the bills. They have a family. They have to support, right? So either they go into veteran entrepreneurship, or they end up finding that last job where they feel that they can actually do the job and be in the right position.
Wow. Or they just get stuck in doing and working in a job that does not fulfill their purpose. And that's kind of the route that I was on. When I got out of the Marine Corps, I was told that I could do 2 things. I think it was working for a contract for the DOD. Basically, I was deploying and was going to be like infantry all over again, but a civilian, or work as a correctional officer. That was all that I had. I went back into the military to find or to grab my purpose. Christine, what do you do with the chamber?
I actually do marketing and development, chamber development. So those are kind of my things. I love to get the word out. So I'm constantly, connecting with people, which works well because my personal business that pays the bills is DFW Networking Diva. So I'm all about connecting. If I know you and I know who you're trying to meet, I love connecting them and saying, meet so-and-so. So marketing is just an extension of that. So it is so much fun. And our veteran community, when you find the right people out there, are so incredibly supportive. I did not serve, and I thank you both for serving. And my son is in the service. He's Air Force, and so he just got back from Kuwait. So I'm happy to have him home, even though he's back at base now. But, passionate patriot. And so anything I can do to help connect the veteran community, I'm all over it.
Oh, I love that. I love that. So you got some skin in the game. You got a son in the Air Force. That is amazing. Cristie, what branch did you serve in?
I was in the Navy, but I was an FMF corpsman. So
hoorah.
That's right. So the great majority of my enlistment, I spent it with the Marines.
Oh, that's good. That's good stuff. When you say corpsman, I always, what? I love corpsmen. Corpsmen are freaking life-saving.
Yes. Right.
Yeah. No, that's good. So this event, I'm glad that you brought up the fact of how resourceful and there's some kind of static. I wonder if that's on my end or. All right. Yeah, I love that you brought up how supportive and resourceful we are. Veterans, if you are watching this, what I need you to do is I need you to share it. I need you to tag it, say something. If you got a question about the chamber, put it in the comments. My hope is that we can get as many veterans watching this as possible, because we're getting ready to talk about some stuff that could be, an event that could be life-changing. One of you guys want to talk about this event, this life-changing event that you're having, tomorrow, right?
Yes, it actually starts tomorrow morning, and it is for transitioning military veterans, their spouses, and their caregivers. And it's free to the candidates, right? So you are required to upload a resume, because you can't get hired without a resume. So you have to have a resume. And then you are free to visit the booths. We have over 50 major corporations attending our career fair. And you're free to visit them all, or free to visit the ones that interest you, the ones that you think that you're going to fit, right? We have nationwide employment opportunity as well as remote categories. So if you want to work from home, there is a remote category for those, positions that are available.
Well, and Tony, even if you don't actually make it to all the rooms, because, there's so many to choose from, it's okay, because all of the employers will have access to all of the resumes. So if you don't make it to every room, don't panic. They'll still have access to your resume so they can go in, take a look, and if they think you're a good fit for something, they can reach out to you.
And what kind of jobs? I don't know if you said this already. What kind of jobs can we expect to see at this career fair, virtual career fair?
Everything, right? From entry-level positions to positions with experience. And it really depends on the company. So FedEx, for example, they could be looking for management. They could be looking for entry-level. It is just an array of different positions. And it is depending on the company and what they're offering.
And one other thing I'd like to point out, Tony, is it's not just for transitioning military and not just for the veterans. It's also for the military spouse, right? It's also for their caregivers, right? So we're taking care of the whole family with this. And I think a lot of times being a former military spouse myself, a lot of times we get left out of things. And back when I was a military spouse, they didn't have anything like this at all, right? So I'm like, this is so cool. We need to promote this. Because a lot of times, right, as a mil spouse, you're moving around, right? It's really hard. Your partner may have the job, but as a mil spouse, your job is leaving all the time unless you have something remote. So a lot of times it's hard to find something that is local in your area, doing the industry that you want to do or what you've been going to school or trained for. And now you move again, right? And it's really hard to get up the career ladder like that. So having those opportunities for the remote positions is fantastic. So I'd love to encourage everybody, even if you aren't looking for a new job, put it out there and share the word, because there might be a mil spouse that wants the job.
Right. I love that you all are doing it like that. I've never heard of job fairs that offer opportunities for the military spouse and caregivers alike. I was looking at that, and as far as a caregiver, do we mean somebody that's just in the veteran's life that's helping take care of them? Is that?
Yeah, I've got friends that are their mothers served, right? And their mothers are getting older. And so they need care all the time. So having something that they can work remotely that gives them the flexibility to step in, do what they need to do with their caregiving needs, and then go back and be able to do more with work, right? So having that kind of understanding with your employer. And these aren't just any businesses. These are businesses that understand the veteran situation and want veterans and want mil spouses and want the caregivers. So, these are the people you can talk to about these kind of situations, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's good. That's good stuff. When I found out about this organization, I shared it to several of the people in my network, and the first question they said was, "Oh my God, another veteran organization or another veteran event." What sets y'all's organization aside from, and anybody can grab this one, aside from all the others?
Well, I would say that we are genuinely interested in helping our veteran community, and we really do mean that. So if a veteran comes to us, they don't have their resume quite put together, we have resources where they can tap into and get that resume straight. If they feel a little bit nervous about doing the interview, we can send them to resources where they will coach them through those mock interviews. So we're really interested about the veteran. And so, for example, they're having issues and they need to tap into those resources. We have them for them, so we want to take care of the whole entire veteran. And I think that's really what makes us different.
It's about being a resource, right? So we have our area of specialty, which is enhancing the professional lives of veterans, whether it's career entrepreneurship, whether it's owning a business, but we want to be connected with all the veteran resources, because when we have somebody come to us that says, hey, I really need help we want to know where to send them. So we're inviting everyone to partner with us, because we don't want to recreate the wheel. We have people that, like you said, are, the Veterans Ranch I mentioned earlier, right? They work with, the horses and working the way through some of the issues they've got. We don't want horses. We don't want to take Cristie. You want to put a horse in your backyard? I think we'll leave that to J.R. Smith and the Veterans Ranch, right? So we love having those resources. So when they need something, we can send them in the right direction for the help. Why recreate the wheel? They've got people that do a fantastic job.
Yeah, I love that. That's one thing I've noticed a lot of organizations. And the reason I'm talking so candidly is because I know they're watching and they're like, but that's what's cool about y'all's organization is you're focusing on employment and you're letting everybody do the rest, do what they're good at. Let's say tomorrow, what can we expect? Let's say tomorrow, I log in. I think I got the website. I'll flash it here. I log in, and what happens next? Take me through that concept, because I back in the day, I would get kind of nervous logging into those things, like, because I didn't know what to expect. Like when I jump on, is there going to be somebody grilling me, or how does it work?
No, the organizations are listed with once you click on it, you can look to see what kind of position they have available, and then if it interests you, you enter into the chat. The recruiter may or may not be there, but if they are not there, you can say, "Hey, I'm interested in this position. Leave your information," and they will get back to you. They'll tap back to you that day and saying, "Hey, sorry, I missed you. Are you available?" Right? If you're still on the computer, and then if you are, you just log back in and then have that answer question session with them, right, via chat. And then if you are available and if you're dressed, you can do an on-the-spot video interview.
I like that. Veterans get dressed.
Yes, right?
Probably a good idea for an interview. Just,
Or you can say, let's set up an interview. Here's some available dates, and then you just make that arrangement on your own, right?
Okay, so it would be a good idea to already kind of come dressed to impress, like you're going to a real job fair, right?
Well, I would. Why lose an opportunity to make an appointment later, right? A lot of the times, if you're able to do that interview right there and there, I would say go for it.
Wow, good stuff. What about some tips? What are some good tips that maybe I think I'll go ahead and show up for it too, just to kind of walk down the road. What would be some good tips for me as I get ready to go to this job fair?
Well, you have a whole 24 hours, right? So I would say log in, look at the companies, look at the job positions. They might have a description on there, and then go to their website, do a little bit more research, and see if it's a company that you want to work for, and then come back and then leave your information. If the recruiter is there, have that conversation with you, right? Have the conversation and then ask the questions that are important to you.
That's good stuff. You got anything, Christine? What do you have to add?
I was just thinking, Tony, you said you were nervous. Smile. Every time you think, "Oh my God, I am so nervous," smile.
Yeah, I love that.
Well,
smiles go a long way.
They're not live unless you want to. This is chat. Just you're kind of texting somebody in the chat room, in the platform. So you actually don't have to be nervous, because there's nobody looking at you unless you say, "Hey, yeah, let's do a video interview."
Wow.
But it's hard to be in a bad mood if you're smiling. So even if they can't see you, smile, because it does wonders for your insides.
No, I agree. That's funny that you bring up that. My wife and I, we did this exercise yesterday where we smiled for 20 seconds, and I asked, it was my wife and my daughter and I, we smiled for 20 seconds, and I'm like, "Do y'all feel better?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do feel better." So it helps with courage as well too, huh?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. My public speaking background, right? So I always gear up, take that nervous energy, put it into positive vibes, roll it all up, right? And let the smile come out. I think a lot of times the hard part for the transitioning, right? Because they're used to doing what they used to do, right? Like you said, when you moved out, they were like, "Hey, you can do this or this. And here's your two choices," right? And you're like, "Oh, the whole world's out there and I only get two choices." Well, at least they came up with two for you. My ex-husband used to load bombs. Okay. Not a lot of options for that in the real world. Okay. Nothing that you'd want to take, at least. Right. So It's the idea of, exploring those options. And sometimes you're going to make a career change, and that's okay too. Don't be afraid to look outside the box, right? There's a lot of skills, I think, that get overlooked in the veteran community, things that you learned along your path that you may not realize, like, "Oh yeah, I can do that," right? Management skills go across the board, right? You're not going to go from I manage all these people after being in for 10 years and then, I can only manage one, maybe. No, you know how to manage people.
I love it. I love it. So put your best foot forward. So in closing, what else do y'all got for me? Anything what's coming up as far as after this event? Because like I was telling Christine, I would love to support this amazing organization.
Well, that's awesome that you say that, Tony. Well, you can join our chamber as a member or a corporate sponsor. So you can go to dfwveteranschamber.org. All of our membership information is there, as well as the corporate sponsorship. What we have coming on that is super excited is our American Veterans Chamber of Commerce. That's at the national level. So we're hoping to impact our veteran community by helping our veteran community become entrepreneurs. They can open up a chamber of their own in their city if there isn't one already. And even if there is, there's enough room for all of us, right? So that website is amvcc.org or americanveteranschamber.org. And you can get more information in that. But those are two very exciting things that we have going on right now.
Wow.
Now, we mentioned corporate sponsors, and I'm going to just throw this out there. We are looking for corporate sponsors that want to adopt a chamber. All right. Picture this, okay? You're going to be an entrepreneur, you're going to own your own business. And if anybody's ever done that before, you know how much that goes into that, how much time, how much sweat equity, how much money it takes, right? We want corporate sponsors that want to kind of take a chamber under and kind of give them a hand, right? And say like, you know what, we want to share some resources with you, want to help you with some of those startup costs, right? Because you have to struggle enough starting off a business as a startup as it is without trying to start up a nonprofit on top of that. Right.
Wait, you need startup costs?
Right. What? People have that? I thought that was chump change out of my purse. Right. So that's exactly. So we want corporate sponsors to be partners. We don't want just give us your money. We never want to talk to you again. No, we want corporate sponsors to partner with us and help guide and help promote and get us out to, their followers also, so that, hey, we're sponsoring this chamber, come veterans, come hang out. Passionate patriots, come hang out, nonprofits in the area, right? So we're looking for people to help with that. So if you are in a position to be able to sponsor an up and coming chamber, we would love to hear from you.
Wow.
And I just want to say that our chamber is for everybody, is for our patriot supporters that want to do business with our veteran business owners. And obviously we're predominantly veterans, so we're always being heavy on the veteran side, the veteran business owner, but also for veterans transitioning military that they don't know what they're going to do. They can come and join us, hang out while they're exploring their options.
So what do you do for them? Do you provide them with some training, the veteran that joins it, or how does that work?
We do our weekly Zoom meetings for our DFW Veterans Chamber, and then we provide guest speakers that talk about different aspects about doing business. And then once a month, we bring in those VSOs and then nonprofits with all the resources that are available in our veteran community. And also once a month, we do what we call a deep dive, which is an in-depth webinar on a topic. It could be life or it could be business, so that everybody learns a little bit more about business.
And I think the one for the last Friday of this month, I believe, is going to be related to sales training. So we haven't had anybody talk about that yet. So that should be interesting. That can kind of apply to a lot of people, right? Sales is usually a part of a position. A lot of times if you're any kind of outside facing position, or if you're a business owner. So that should be really valuable also. So plus it's getting to know the community, right? You come into the chamber and you've got your Marines, you've got your Air Force, you've got your Army, you've got all the different services and people in there, and they've been where you were. Right. So even if you're coming out of the service, you're transitioning out and you're like, I don't know what I want to do. Why not use that opportunity to talk to some people that have been exactly where you were and can say, well, this is what I did and this is the path that worked for me. Or do you want to know more about? And they just help you explore those possibilities. And they've already been there with the resources too, right? So they're going to be able to point you where you want to go for the resources or for business.
Somebody said in the comments, what about dues? Are there dues or fees associated with joining?
Yes, it's very reasonable. It's $270 for the year or $30 per month.
Ooh, that's easy. That's easy. That's beer money.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's a dinner out once a month, right? So we made it affordable because we're truly here for our veteran community. We want to make it affordable so that you can grow and that you can develop and you can build a community.
Yeah, that's interesting. Whenever I think about organizations like this, I think about networking and the fact that when I got out of the military, I didn't want to have really nothing to do with, talking to other people, smoozing and stuff like that. But I come to realize that it's a I don't know. I would definitely pay that amount of money just to network with amazing professionals such as yourself. I think we don't look at that a lot as far as how important it is to networking. What do you guys think about the how important it is networking?
It is very
Yeah.
important. So, and I'm going to give you an example. So we had a social last week and we did it at one of the gun ranges. It was one of our members who organized that social for our veteran community, right? He also sponsored dinner for us. So we had 3 non-alcoholic drinks because we're going to be shooting, right? And we had dinner, and then the guys and the gals that showed up had a great time. Everybody chit-chatted. They went into the gun range. They did a little bit of shooting. They came back, and I was actually surprised. That's when the networking really started. Everybody took out their business card. They started exchanging, business cards, talking to each other, making appointments before, to meet at a different time. I was so excited because it was just a social. But then the opportunity presented itself to do business. And that's really how you do your business, right? People are not going to refer to you if they don't know you and if they don't trust you.
Yeah, I took a trip last week or a couple of weeks ago with veterans. And as far as my business, I had a few different needs that I'm like, man, I need to partner up with some companies to do this, to do that. And I came back and I told my wife, look, I found somebody for this. I found somebody for this. I found somebody for that. So I'm glad that you spoke on it. I really appreciate y'all coming and sharing space with me. This has been great. And I'm guaranteed that there we go. Team Live, my brother Daryl. I'm good. Sorry. I'm like, squirrel. No, it's for me, it's a guarantee. I feel like if the veteran or the person that's affiliated with the veteran shows up to this event, they're definitely going to take something away from it. I really appreciate you two being on the show. Will you hang out in the green room? I say the green room like it's fancy, but will you hang out really quick while I close it up?
Yeah, we'll stick around.
All right.
Thank you so much, Tony.
Thank you. Any last words?
Be blessed.
All right. Awesome. Thank you. All right. You have it. There you have it. Please, please, please go and check out this amazing event. Like I said, I am going to register as soon as I get off of here so that I can check it out. Veterans, man, if there isn't, man, I can't stress this enough. Show up to these events. These events are what can make the difference on you, like taking care of your family. What can make the difference of you putting a little bit more money in your pocket? You never know until you try. So take care. I'll see you guys later.